Okay, so you mentioned that you're having a little bit of a hard time moving the columns in here. So like I said, what you want to pay attention for are these right here. As you see me move the cursor around, you'll notice that they'll kind of pop up all over the place if you pay close attention. There's one here, and there's one here, there's even one here and here. What you want to do is make sure you click on white space around here. You don't want to click on anything here because then you'll get this and it'll kind of confuse things. So here's one of the first things you want to know, is that these columns, you have to click and drag, but based upon the other elements that you have around it will affect how far it can go. Also, something you want to take note of is if you click on it, if you left click on the column right here, sorry about that, what you'll notice is that you'll get an option for columns and you can change the spacing. So if you need a little bit more spacing, it'll do that, but once again, based upon the content you have around it, it may make it smaller, larger, it may mess with it a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to rearrange a few things around here. We're going to remove the spacer here. We're going to move the spacer here. And alright, so the next thing we're going to want to do is probably going to put this here. We're going to move this one over here. And you notice the blue line that I'm doing, I'm trying to put them all in one column and then I'll separate them. See, the blue line is up there. It's going to go beneath it. Then this one here, that one's going to be a little bit difficult to grab since it's kind of over there. Now we can grab from the middle box there. That's what you want to do. And you notice that because we started moving everything out, now that gray line is gone, but there's one here. That means that there's something hidden, which is right over here. You will only get that line if there is something in between, if there's an element hidden somewhere in there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this one is here. Now pay attention to what I'm about to do, which is I'm going to grab this one here, and I'm going to make sure that I'm to the right of it. See, the blue line is right there. That means it's going to go to the right of that. So it should put a column in between. We're going to do it again. We're going to put it here, not down here, because then it's going to get all weird. It's only going to go, remember what we said before, there's rows and columns. This is one row, this is another row. We want to put it there. But as you saw, that blue line started to go everywhere. You just got to pay attention to where everything is at. We'll go ahead and shift that to the middle. We'll go ahead and shift this to the middle, and it's pretty much that easy. You're just clicking and dragging and moving around. And you see, boom, we got that. Now, if I remember correctly, since we want this to be underneath this, you wouldn't want to put it here. You want to put it beneath this one. You want it to remain all in one column. So you wouldn't want to put it down here and then create a new row. You want this to be with this one. You want this to be in the same row. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to drop that there. And you notice, boom, it just extended that row. We're going to grab this one. And what you would do? Right there, right? Okay. One more time. Beneath it. Right there. Alright, so hopefully that text is there. Now, I'm not sure where all of this text is supposed to go, but I'm going to go ahead and attempt to think I know what I'm doing with your text, but you go ahead and move it around. You can see what I'm doing. You notice I'm dragging on this one. What this one does, it allows you to copy to other pages or to copy to itself. You can move the content entirely, just depending on which one you pick. And this one will allow you to delete. So just pay attention to what's on the page. And like I said, it takes a little bit of getting used to. And you'll notice that another thing I did was after I selected one, I went back out and I just simply clicked on this area out here to kind of clear what it's connected to. And then we'll grab this, and you notice that, see, there's another element here beneath this one or this one. Nope, we want to put it beneath it. We want to get rid of this. Okay, we'll go ahead and be sure to do that. Now, here's an odd issue. You have the image and the text all in one container, whereas this one is separate and this one is separate. You can do it like this, and you could do that for like wrapping if you want to, but generally I try to stay away from that unless it's purposeful. You can drag this element out of it and put it on top, which is what we want to do. So we have these spacers down here. We'll go ahead and get rid of these spacers because we don't need them, at least at this point. So now, each one of these are separate. And that's what I would definitely suggest doing. Now, if you want to change the size, you just simply drag it. Now, also keep in mind, you can move this if you want. Click and drag it. Move it somewhere else, wherever you want. But this is also... Oh, sorry about that. I accidentally let go of it. You can move this around. Keep in mind that you have options within here. You can change the spacing. You can improve. See how it moves. But we'll go ahead and put it back all to medium. But you kind of want to make sure they're all the same if they're in the same column. Or once again, you could change it and make it long as it's purposeful. So we'll make that one about that size. If this is in the way, just move it. I think that's the maximum size that you have for that. And that one. Of course, once again, you click on here and you notice that you're getting... this. Click and drag it. My mouse is a little bit finicky, but yeah, it just takes a little bit of practice. Now, let's say you wanted to make sure all this text lined up. That's when you use a spacer. Now you notice the blue line is there. If we put it over here, you see what it does? You see what here? And then you notice, see, this is the funny thing. You could put it in between here and here, and these two would still then be connected. But if we do it here, it's going to put it in between these two columns. So we're going to put that there. And what we can do is we can change the size of spacer by going like so. We'll go ahead and put another one here. That will make up that line. So what we want to do is we want these all to be in line with each other. But as a general rule of thumb, I tend to like to make sure that my images are about the same size unless, once again, this is purposeful. We let go. Now, you're not going to see these dots when you publish the site, but these will look like they're in line. And it's pretty much that simple. I hope all that helped. If you have any further questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks.